I speak up against the pornography in our schools. We know again that this is about breaking the minds of our children. This is about, I don't know if you've read Logan Lansing's book, but this is about throwing them out into the most wild of waves, and which is to destroy their culture, their customs, their religion, their faith, anything, right? Destroy it all and to say none of it's true. Now come and we'll give you the new way of knowing, the new consciousness. So I've spoken out against pornography in our schools. And also again with the whole I just say yes. So I worked last year for one, and now I'm adding a second school where I teach the kids. I absolutely teach them. They can recognize Marxist propaganda.
This
I
is a
teach,
homeschool co-ops.
yeah. So I teach junior high and high schoolers, and I pulled their parents in and I talked to them about these things. And this is again why I joined Moms for America, because I want to go all the way around the state and let people know these are the red flags in education. This is what they mean. I want to do that both for adults and for their students, because our kids need to know they are the front line. And I've had so many kids say, I'm part of the queer community or whatever. And they always say the or whatever. It's just a throwaway. They don't know what they're embracing. They don't know what they're embracing. And they just think that, they've been taught that this is what it means to be kind.
Right.
And so, again, every opportunity, if there is an opportunity, I am there. And if I have an opportunity to speak, I will speak, because we're given our voices for a reason. But you can and you must show up. So we have these school board members, and yeah, we have a conservative board, but we really don't. We have a lot of people who are swayed by guilt, a lot of
Talking about
people
your local board or the state board?
both,
Okay.
both. Okay. And I would say my local school board's too far gone. They're elitist snobs, and they believe that they have the correct insight. I would say most of them have embraced critical consciousness in my rural area. So what we have to do is show up in numbers, because they're getting somebody who's got a doctorate in blah, 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 a doctorate in BS is what I would call it. And they're just, oh, well, we trust the experts. They're too lazy to look for themselves. They are told that if you aren't on this side of things, that you're a backwoods bigot. So don't even pay attention. Well, we're trying to get Kurt Cameron's Brave books, right, into the libraries. And some libraries are saying no. And so we're documenting the ones that are saying no, but I'm also looking at the grandparents who are like, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm saying, start collecting books and start offering to read books and offer a snack once a week to the kids in your neighborhood. This is what we do. This is how we counter their culture. And I think that that's what we have to do. We have to think in the most grassroots, go backwards. What did people do before in hard times? How did they survive? You put the best people around you, and you just avoid as much as you possibly can the rest of them, and you refuse to lie. You absolutely refuse to lie. We must be the soft landing. We have to be. That's why specifically I chose Moms for America, because I want to be the soft landing. I don't want to fight. I want to fight with discernment. I want to fight with wisdom, but I don't physically want to get in people's faces and yell and scream. I very little use Twitter or X, because I don't want those conversations back and forth. That's not personally my place in this fight. My place is to be a soft landing, to offer the redemption arc, because that's the biggest thing. We have James Lindsay, who isn't even religious and recognizes that need for the Judeo-Christian redemption arc. We have to offer that to anybody who comes out of this. I think the biggest thing is just refusing to back down and not getting emotional, because they are literally teaching our kids, and I have curriculum that proves it, They are literally teaching our kids to lean into emotion, to embrace pathos and ignore logos. Pathos, emotion, lean into emotion, ignore logos, logic. And some people, it also means God. So we're supposed to ignore reason, we're supposed to ignore order and lean into emotion. So we don't. We look at them and you just need to see in front of you, for good or bad, this is a toddler you're dealing with. This
Yeah.
is the emotions of a toddler. And so what do you do with a toddler? Do you pull them up, scream at them? What? Nope, you step over them and you go about your work. A lot of the peers are, they're already through social media, especially, they are learning to be the activists themselves. So I have seen people say, I homeschool, all I did was send my kid to youth group one time, and now they're coming back and they're asking me, they're saying that maybe they're non-binary. They're saying that they're bisexual one time, because the kids are learning to target each other. The other thing is that the kids will say things like, I can't be friends with you, or my group can't be friends with you because you're just not empathetic enough. We don't have the same values. Children are saying this to each other now. That's how far in we are. Be the one person for your kids first, and then be the one person in your neighborhood. Keep your door open. Always have extra snacks. Do whatever you can. And when you're with the kids, we've got to play by their tactics. So where can you find those things that are not pushing your politics, but are just pushing good? That's what we must do. We must have the alternative. We can't just say, I'm against this. We must say, but I'm for this.
Yeah.
And this is an alternative, because they have no hope in what they're doing. So you're one of those families with 7 kids. So open your door to an 8th or 9th. Open your door to an 8th or 9th. Tell a parent who is just have the extra curriculum. Tell a parent who does have to work, you provide treats. You provide something for the kids, or, maybe you host a movie night so that I can have a break. But what can you do to protect the kids who are going to grow up in the community with your children? Sometimes we'll say, oh, I'm too busy. But when you start thinking about the things that you do that are unnecessary, you've got to prioritize.